Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Scott here with the AI Money Press and GorillaAITools.com. Hey, stick with me. We're going to discuss, I think, one of the most obvious things about AI that's really been, I think, in the back of our minds now for a little while. Just like the title, the thumbnail of the video is AI friend or foe? Well, I think it all really remains to be seen. I have a lot of fun with creating fun videos. Obviously, doing the things that we do, it creates scripts. We do voiceover things. We create wonderful narrations, music, stories. Now, with the latest innovations, it seems to be moving in the direction of how do we make life easier? And AI seems to be answering a lot of those questions. It's really the elephant in the room now, right? It's the 800-pound gorilla in the middle of your coffee table. It just can't be ignored at this point. And so I sort of sat back after going through what I'm doing with my video content challenge over 30 days, and we're almost a third of the way there. And I thank you if you've been watching the videos. Thanks you for sticking with us. I would ask at this time, hey, if you've been liking the content, I've been seeing through the analytics that the majority of the people who are watching my videos aren't subscribing. So if you do me a favor, just hit the subscribe. Hang out, guys. It's going to get even more fun as we go. But back to the topic in hand, really we have to ask the question, is AI a friend or foe? Is it something that's going to be incredibly useful for us? Well, obviously it's already proving its worth, but is it a predator posing as a house pet? To borrow a phrase from one of my favorite movies, Fight Club. So I have to think a little bit about it. I think we've been warned by a lot of people. Elon Musk has talked about the potential pitfalls of AI and where it could lead. But I came across an article, and, well, multiple articles, in fact, that there are multiple tech CEOs, even the founder of Skype, who has talked about the potential pitfalls of where AI could lead us. And there's a gentleman that some of you may be actually familiar with, and that's Geoffrey Hinton. He's known as the godfather of AI, and he worked for Google for a long time. In fact, he was so troubled by what he created that he left Google, and he's out here warning many of us. Not so long ago, in fact, I would say fairly recent in our time, but not necessarily in time of the arc of technology and growth, he was in an interview in October of 23 on 60 Minutes. Not always a big fan of 60 Minutes anymore. Grew up watching it, but, you know, it always hasn't been the greatest in the past several years. But I can tell you this really insightful interview with Geoffrey Hinton, it was really striking. He said some really interesting things, and I'll have a link to the video in the description for those of you who may have missed it, or those who saw it. It's really a really good refresher looking back with 2020 vision from that point to now. He was making the case that we don't really know what it is that we've done. I don't know. If you're like me, you grew up in the 80s. You watched a lot of great movies. We watched The Terminator, of course. It was always a joke in the tech world that Skynet is live. And it actually is in multiple areas. Now, some would say it's innocuous and it's harmless, and it's here to help, and it's benign in its existence. But I don't know. Maybe it's what we would call my Irish optimism, that I'm always waiting for the other shoe to fall. And I have to be, I don't know, personally concerned. Now, I got very excited recently. ChatGPT 4 released a really awesome feature, and I'd love it if you guys would research it. ChatGPT 4 has a new feature embedded in it, and people have created some wonderfully cute videos and some things. Now, what's not so cute about it from a consumer's perspective is it costs $200 a month. I can't make a personal use case for it right now, or I would be demoing it for you right now. If it was in for anything other than making content, I wouldn't bother investing in it. But it actually has a video feature now. You can turn on your camera and your microphone on your phone, wander around and ask it to translate things. Phenomenal tool. You can ask it what you're wearing. You can ask it what it thinks your emotions are. It will have actual conversations with you. If it sounds creepy, it's because it kind of is. Is it useful? Absolutely. Is it fun? Undoubtedly. Is it dangerous? Absolutely. I don't mean to be an alarmist. I mean, after all, this channel is about AI tools, how to use them, how to have fun, how to monetize them, how to grow economically, financially, that can really set you free from your normal 9 to 5. Yeah, there are opportunities there. We'll discuss more about that later. I'm not trying to sound any alarm bells. I'm just sort of sharing what's going on in my own mind. Now, Geoffrey Hinton, who's a Nobel Peace Prize winner, he's a brilliant individual. There's a chance that he knows a lot more than I do. In fact, I'd be willing to bet everything on it. I'm excited to show everything that we're doing and show the innovations as we're growing, but I also just want to temper that with a moment's caution. Understand that of all the great things, all the innovations, whether it became the advent of the internet, cell phones, all of these things, it's as if technology is never purely what it seems to be. We have entities, obviously, within our own government. Call me a conspiracy theorist or just a realist, as many of us have been proved right about a lot of things. But everything that is developed for our good doesn't get funding unless it can also figure out our doom. A lot of things that have been created that have great innovations, as I mentioned, in telecommunications and surveillance and security, have also been used towards us, on us, and deliberately. Now, there was a time, obviously, when, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, when we said, and even in the 80s, that we said we would never let the government into our homes. But yet, we have a little device now called Alexa. Sorry if I just triggered your device. We have a Siri, sorry, once again, that we've not just let down our guard, we've invited them in fact, are even willing to pay a premium to have them in our home, on our body, that monitor everything. I think that we've given up perhaps some form of personal liberty. Being an 80s kid, there's no real tangible evidence of our existence as kids. Now our kids, as teenagers, as a father to teenage kids, there's almost a moment that never goes unrecorded. When I can tell you that the vast majority of my life growing up, past the first or second birthday, none of that's recorded. And for our Gen X friends out there, like me, I think we're thankful for a lot of that. Looking back. I mean, it's nice to have the memories. It's nice to have everything sort of as a record of our existence. And I don't know if it's just because we want to prove that we existed. Or maybe it's just the memories or us being sentimental. But now it makes me wonder, have we invited an adversary into our lives for the sake of convenience? I don't know. I don't mean to sound dire. I'm actually really pretty hopeful. I'm usually an optimist in this space. But every once in a while, it just makes me think. If Mr. Hinton is concerned, perhaps he has good reason to be. Now, there's a lot of great good. He's still a firm believer in the good that AI can do, as am I. I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of great good things that could be done. They could cure cancer. New drug discoveries, the computations that it can possibly run on how drug interactions and understanding individuals and understand their biology. It's vast leaps in discoveries towards curing all sorts of diseases. Complex surgeries. A friend of mine, his wife is one of the top cardiovascular surgeons in the country. They're paid very, very well. A number of years ago, she saw the Da Vinci machine perform the same procedure that would take her 4 hours or longer, done in less than an hour. Now, great for us, great for innovation, not so great for the surgeon who's put their entire life, their education, their earning, everything all into something that one day they could be automated out of. It's great for things like radiology, understanding, looking at things, finding tumors, finding ways to diagnose terminal illnesses. It's obviously great for commerce. I mean, the AI innovation, sometimes Amazon tells you what you want before you know you want it, and you've bought it, and it's at your home. At some point, the drivers in the brown uniforms may not be the ones bringing it to your door. I mean, drones are already doing those things. I mean, hell, you've seen the commercials for Uber Eats with a little robot driving down the street to deliver your food. Commerce is obviously uplifted. Everything that we do and things that I do in the mortgage world and in real estate have all been massive innovations with AI. I can now have a chat with one of our tools and ask it about the guidelines for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and what it takes to get qualified for an FHA loan. Somebody could literally go to my website now and click chat. And you can ask it questions about what it takes to get pre-qualified. Furthermore, I could take you to a phone number that'll take your loan application for me. I don't really like that because I like being a human who still provides quality and service to other humans. And I think that's where our value will continue to be for a very, very long time. Obviously, AI has taken over simple tasks. Hell, you could literally write a math problem in Chicken Scratch on a piece of paper and take a picture of it. And ChatGPT will solve it for you. I never had that. I had Chicken Scratch handwriting, don't get me wrong. But the solution to the equation, I was lacking many times. It's simplified a lot of things that we do on a daily basis. I can ask it to write copy for me, and I do. For ads, for marketing, for things to leverage our time. So hopefully we can be better or have more time in the pocket to be effective at what we do. It predicts traffic patterns. It, among other things, it helps things move more smoothly. I hope we never get to the point of iRobot where, the cars are all driving themselves. And we don't have that say in where we go and when and how. Now, Waymo already exists. Tesla's already pushing for self-driving technology. For me, I'm just a good old boy who likes to get in a car and hear an engine for real. I like the smell of gas. I like to rev an engine and I like to hear it loud. I like to drive. I like the wind in my hair. What's still here of it, though it was a different color once. But I like the freedom, or at least the illusion of it. It makes me wonder where things are really headed. We've got a new era of art, science, music, as you saw in the previous video, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's mind-blowing. It puts the tools in everyone's hands to sort of democratize ability. But I wonder, will that at some point help us not help? Will that make us? Will it make us not value real talent anymore? For someone to pick up a guitar, I was always envious of the guy who could pick up a guitar and sing a song and be that guy at the party. You're always welcome. You're always, you could always add a little something. Something to be envied about people who have natural talents and skills. I believed at one point I'd learn how to play the piano. Well, I'm almost 51 and I haven't touched the keys in a very, very long time. I think that there's a lot of great things that it can do. It democratizes the idea of the access to certain things. I can create a wonderful song with beautiful lyrics as a tribute to individuals in my family who are no longer with us, even though I can't play that piano and I can't play that guitar. But I can still create something. Does that make it less than what someone else has done? Well, honestly, it does. But it can bring me a little joy, and hopefully you too. Now, on the other side, it unleashes economic opportunity. As I've shown you guys before in my stock analysis and my market look at things, the movers and shakers, the drivers, and how things are going, it gives you opportunity that without those analytics that you wouldn't have had before, without the new emerging technologies, the opportunities to invest in things that could bring wealth and financial security to you and your family for generations. those things didn't necessarily even exist even 10 years ago. I don't know where we'll end up in the next 10. But most importantly, as you guys saw with DeepSeek, if you were paying attention at all, even though the Chinese may be lying about what DeepSeek is or how it was created or what it does, I don't know for sure. And someone like me may never really know. But what it did do is DeepSeek has driven innovation in these other companies to do it better, to do it cheaper, to do it faster. And I hope that that helps add a lot of really good things. The only word of caution I guess that I really have is just keep your eyes open. Because the things that are designed for good are also weaponized by, those people. I don't even have to name them. When I say something's weaponized, I think you just know. So we'll be like Ronnie. We'll be optimistic. We'll say, it's morning in America. And things like, trust but verify. We're going to hang out. We're going to keep trying to figure it out. We're going to enjoy the ride. I just want you all to do it with your eyes open. Let's keep things kicking, right? Let's concentrate on the good and not so much on the bad, okay? The question still remains in the back of my mind, each and every day, is, are we going to be friends? I mean, that's kind of where things are headed. As human interaction will sort of potentially be outmoded in a way, we may find other avenues. People may find other avenues of companionship. I'm going to keep it family friendly right there. I just hope that we're always friends and not foes. That is the potential. And as much as I see what could potentially happen, I'm going to still stay optimistic. I hope you guys stick with me. I'm going to have a lot of great content moving forward. And I promise it won't be as dire. We're going to have a good time with it. For those of you who have followed my channel and have been along for the ride, I want to say thank you. And if you wouldn't mind, click the subscribe. Follow along. Add some comments. Tell you what, let me know what you're concerned about, because I'd really like to hear. I'd like to know that I'm not that one crazy old man screaming out the window. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Well, I'm not that guy. But I hope I'm not alone in my concerns. Share your thoughts with me, guys. Let's go and into the new era, boldly, bravely, and with our eyes wide open. Thanks for now. Jeremy Scott, Gorilla AI Tools, the AI Money Press, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Thanks. Take care.